Hey, do you ride a dirt bikes? Then this right here is probably your future. Hey! Hey, what's up guys, Rado here, and yes, I think this right here, adventure riding, and specifically this Suzuki V-strom 800DE is probably your future if you ride a dirt bikes, and of course you're getting a little bit older. You know, I started riding dirt bikes 10 years ago when I was about 30, now I'm pushing 42, and hey, this is making way more sense than it used to 10 years ago. The 2024 V-strom 800DE is the most capable V-strom ever made. They made it first in 2023 and this is 2024 year. I got it with like 10 miles on, so this thing is brand new. I have 500 miles on this thing and I really love it. First of all, it has a really good engine. It's 800cc, 2-cylinder. Even if you are lagging in 6th gear and you just hit the throttle, it pulls real nice. And if you downshift 2 gears down and you hit the throttle, it's pretty fun. Now, one thing that I really love about this V-strom is the quick shift. It has the 6 gears and the quick shift makes it so smooth and so effortless to shift through all these gears. From 1st to 6th, you can be through those gears in like 5 seconds, maybe even less. And all you need to do, you just keep the throttle open and keep clicking the gears up all the way from 1st to 6th. You don't need to touch the clutch, you don't need to touch the throttle, just keep 1 RPM and click those gears. This thing screams and feels really amazing. The next thing very important for adventure riding is suspension. It has the most suspension travel out of all the V-stroms. That's why it's very capable off-road. 8.7 inches in the front and 8.7 inches in the rear. So that's 220 millimeters, which is quite a bit. This thing can travel back and forth, and also it has a dirt bike style linkage. So it really feels good on the trails. Now we're riding this thing today on the stock suspension, but we're gonna take it to race tech and we're gonna dial it in for some really good off-road riding. I wanna be able to take a couple jumps. I already tried it. On the video you will see I will try to hit a couple jumps. It is a little bit on the softer side, so that's why we're gonna take it to the pro shop at the race tech and we're gonna set this for really good and nice aggressive off-road riding. But the suspension here and the overall feel, it's not too shabby. Just gotta be careful in the sand. Hey! This thing comes with SIRS, Suzuki Intelligent Ride System, which is just the right amount of electronics and controls on this thing. So you can adjust your ABS and you can adjust your traction control. You have 4 different modes for a traction control. You can go from kind of aggressive traction control to less aggressive. Then you can have a gravel mode where you can get some wheel spin when you are on the trails and you want to be setting up on the turns. And also you can completely turn it off if you want to have the raw power going to your rear wheel. Now for the ABS, it has a front and rear ABS. Front is always on, but for the rear you have 2 different modes. And you can also turn it completely off. So again, if you want to slide in the turns, which is really must for off-road riding, you cannot really be efficient riding off-road if you cannot set yourself for the turn sliding your rear wheel. So this is really easy. Just hit a button twice and you can turn your ABS off on the rear wheel. You can do it on the fly. You can do it while you ride. So it's really convenient. You don't have to stop. You don't have to be neutral. It's really nice to be able to switch this as soon as you get to a dirt and you need that rear wheel to be sliding with you. This is how easy it is to change your traction control. Now it's on gravel. You can turn it off. You can have 1, 2, or 3 different levels of traction control. I usually keep it on gravel, so I'm okay on the dirt road as well. Now you switch to this. You can also change your maps. You have 3 different maps and you can really feel the difference. So normally I'm on the A, which is the most aggressive. But if I go off-road, it's not a bad idea to be in the B, so it's a little bit easier. The throttle is not as responsive. And then you switch your ABS, You need to hold it a little bit longer and you turn it off. Now you can slide your rear wheel, or you can go back to number 1, which is not probably as sensitive, and then you can go to number 2, which is again more sensitive. So really easy to read display and very easy controls of this bike. This thing comes with a 5.3 gallon tank, which is 20 liters. You can do well over 200 miles on one filling. Depends how you ride, but my experience, I could always put a little bit over 200 miles on one tank. I'm getting somewhere around 44 miles per gallon, something like that. It's pretty good. So this thing is really good for commuting, for riding on the pavement. It comes with kind of street tires. I would say it's like 20/80, 20 off-road and 80 street for this bike stack. That's what we have on the bike right now. And it sits really nicely on the turns. It really gives me confidence. I can go and lean this bike over. The lean angle is really good, and I'm enjoying cutting through the curves when I'm riding local roads here in Southern California. Now, if you want to take it a little bit on something a little more off-road, then these tires are not the best. Honestly, it's you can take it on a dirt road, but as soon as you get to something a little bit deeper, like a deeper sand, you feel that your front end is not super stable. It will walk away from you a little bit. So definitely, if we want to do some serious off-road riding, we will change the tires. We will put some new Dunlops on this thing, at least 50/50 or maybe 60/40. We'll see what we will pick up. That's coming in the next videos. One thing that really surprised me in a good way is the cockpit position on this thing. So when I'm riding and then when I stand up, it feels exactly the same like a dirt bike. So the ergonomics and where everything is, the distance between the pegs and the seat and your handlebars. So once you stand up, you feel like you are standing up on a dirt bike. And that's what I really like, because this is very familiar feeling. Before I got this, I had a Harley, and that's completely different. I like to cruise on a pavement, but I missed so much stuff because it was terrible on a dirt road. I live on a dirt road, so it was terrible coming back home. It didn't have a lot of stability, brakes were terrible, and yeah, I wanted to have a Harley because that was my childhood dream, so I had that experience, but I sold it. This makes so much more sense. It just feels at home. 10 years on a dirt bike, now riding this thing, the way I can stand on a bike, the way I can maneuver the bike when I ride, it just makes a lot of sense. It really feels good. It feels like I'm at home and I know what I'm doing on this thing. So why I think this is in your future? As I got older, I just want to ride more. The kids are a little bit older. They have their own time. They go to places without me, and I'm having a little bit more free time too. And this is the thing that I love to do. I love to ride dirt bikes. I love to be on the two wheels. I love to go off-road. I love that feeling just to be on a motorcycle. And yes, if I can ride dirt bikes all the time, that would probably be the best. But then it's a little bit difficult sometimes to ride a dirt bike because you need to have a good track where you can go. The track is open from to not every single day. So you have to kind of adjust your time with the track time. And then if you want to ride off-road good trails, you need to load your bike and drive a couple of hours to get somewhere. So I don't always have time for something like that. So to fill those gaps, to fill in that void, the adventure bike, it's just the perfect thing to have. Now, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to spend hours. You hit the start button on this thing and you're ready to go from your garage. You can hit the pavement, you can come to some dirt roads, you can ride that little bit. So it's really available and accessible, and it's so easy to get on these things. Now also, I'm getting a little bit older now, so I want to see different things. It's fun to ride in the circles on the track and jump and all that. The adrenaline is amazing, but I also get a lot of satisfaction from seeing new places. Just going for a half a day ride where I can make maybe 300 miles a day, and I can cut through the canyons, and then I can hit some dirt road. I can see beautiful views. I can see this beautiful creation. You can see it looks pretty good behind me. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of riding as well. It wasn't like that 10 years ago. I was just straight dirt bike guy, but now this really is making sense. And what matters the most is when you come back home, I have a big smile on my face when I ride this thing. Very similar to the feeling when I come back home from a trek or from a good trail ride. So the satisfaction and the endorphin I get riding these things, it's very similar to a dirt bikes. BDR is something I want to get into as well. Backcountry discovery routes. I want to know and see more of this beautiful country. I live in USA, so many places to see, and I cannot imagine better way to see it than from the saddle of an adventure bike. You can cut through those canyons, you can see those beautiful views, then you can go a little bit off-road, you can hit those BDRs, which pretty much everything off-road, traveling hundreds of miles. And man, I think this will really be a great addition to my dirt bike life. And I think this adventure riding is probably not as dangerous as jumping, doubles and triples somewhere on the track, which I don't really do. I only do the tabletops most of the time, sometimes doubles. But anyway, this is a good addition into your riding. So, I see it on myself and also talking to other people, Jay Clark also, we're seeing that as we are getting older, this makes much more sense. We still want to stay and ride those dirt bikes. I always want to ride motocross. I always want to ride trails. But having adventure bike in the garage makes a lot of sense. And it's just adding into this two wheels experience into the things we love so much. All right, my friends, well, that's what I think about adventure riding. And that's why I think that you guys have it probably in your future. It all depends how old you are and where you live. But I think a lot of dirt bike guys will feel really good on the adventure bikes. Now this V-strom, as you saw it today, was really fun to ride. It's really good package. I'm so glad that I got this bike and I'll be riding it for the next year at least. And I'll have a lot of videos coming. I want to get some adventure riding training. I want to build it to be adventure ready. Now it's fully stacked and I want to do the suspension. I want to do the tires. I want to do all different, protection and whatnot on the bike so I can also lay it over, which I probably will, down the road. So I want to build this thing and then I want to go for different trips and just see how much we can get out of this 800DE V-strom, which looks really nice. I love this Suzuki yellow and I just love how this thing feels. All right, my friends, so that's about it for today. Let me know below in the comments what you think about the adventure riding, whether you already are on board with it or maybe you will be getting in the future. Share your opinion and don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.